And you join us at the start once again in this finals day finals for the Silver Goblets and Nickalls Challenge Cup. You have Oxford Brooks at the bottom of your screen. It's Morgan Boulding and Matthew Tarrant. On the top of your screen, it's Cambridge University, Ollie Parish and Callum Sullivan.
Yeah, it's not Oxford versus Cambridge. This is Oxford Brooks University, who train in Wallingford. Oxford Brooks have been outstanding this regatta. They've had some fantastic results all the way from the Grand, now here in the final of the Silver Goblets and Nickalls Challenge Cup. And we have Boulding and Tarrant out to 3/4 of a length in the first minute of the race.
The form book here, Adrian, is going to be with his crew here. Oxford Brooks, a burgundy colour of Oxford Brooks. Matt Tarrant has been two-time Olympic spare in Rio and in Tokyo, but in between those times he's won 2 World Championship gold medals and many times here at Henley. And the same with Morgan Boulding. Morgan went to try and qualify that pair, that last Gasper Regatta, didn't qualify it, but they've both been in the system and been training hard with the team.
Yeah, they won the spares race out in Tokyo, and then they carried on training. When they were supporting the team, they carried on training, focusing on this as their main event. In the Cambridge crew, we got Ollie Parish and Callum Sullivan, both of whom were in the blue boat that won the boat race this year. And Callum Sullivan went to the 23s and in 1 hour won a bronze medal in the Cox's 4 and then jumped in the 8 and won a gold medal in the 8 and the 23s. So these guys have pedigree. Callum Sullivan was president of the boat club this year. And Ollie Parish's younger brother Jasper was coaching the St Paul's 8 today. Unfortunately lost to Eton.
A busy day for Parishes. A little bit of warning there for steering. Crews seem to have moved apart, and it's the Brooks pair, Boulding and Tarrant, the lead over Cambridge at the moment.
Yeah, on paper, you would have put your money on the Brooks crew to win this race, but Parish and Sullivan have really progressed well through the regatta. Haven't been together very long because Parish has been ill since the boat race and unable to do under 23s as a consequence, but they've got back in this pair and they really seem to be moving it well.
I watched them race yesterday and they've got that kind of Cambridge feel about them, that low, silky feeling. And I think they look actually a bit more cohesive than Matt and Morgan on this side. I think that could it see them through the middle of this race? Can they keep in contact?
I've got to say, it will be interesting. I mean, they are underpowered compared to the 2 guys from Oxford Brooks for sure, and the style is much more sort of efficient and rhythmical. But looking here, I mean, the steering, they're under umpire's warning here for the Oxford Brooks pair. Gwyn Batten is instructing them to move back across onto their station. You really take this opportunity, wouldn't you, in the Cambridge pair, just to try and seize a few feet back on that because they're steering. And again, they're going back onto the station of the Cambridge crew. This isn't going to be good. The umpire's not going to like this.
Absolutely not. You've got to stick to your side. You don't want to impede another crew behind you. Sometimes it might be tactical, sometimes it might be bad steering, but you've got to stay on your side and not send those dirty puddles down to the crew behind you.
Yeah, and the wash coming off the boat, you see the bow wave that it creates. Actually, it's really difficult to make a boat go straight if you're rowing in that wash going down the course. But here you can see from Boulding and Tarrant, they're in great physical shape. They can attack it at this sort of intensity and just keep it going through the whole course. It's really impressive.
And that's what the national programme does to you. These rowers here are used to training 3 times a day. They're absolute machines. They're used to just laying the watts down. When it starts to hurt, they just carry on, they push through that. But the great shot there of Sullivan and Parish, looking a lot looser, I'd say, than the British pair.
Yeah, they really are. And it looks like they're having actually a really good row this race. But you can just see there that on the Tarrant and Boulding pair, they're just more power, more acceleration, and it just seems like they can keep delivering near 100% more. And again, that's because the volume of training they've been doing for years makes a huge difference. Still being warned by the umpire to move back onto their station.
And they've moved back now, coming through Remenham. Gwyn Batten, the umpire, has her flag out, just put it away, telling this pair to move over.
You can see there in the launch, Ollie Parish's father, Matthew, and his sister, Honor, watching along. They can't say anything, they just have to sit there quietly and listen.
You cannot speak in that launch behind, there's no words uttered.
No. To be fair, Boulding and Tarrant, great display of Cox's pairs rowing here. Perhaps there should be more on their station, but they're quite a long way ahead. It's not really going to affect the result, and they're not letting up on this. This is their last race of the season. They are going to put everything into this race, no matter what the margin is.
Absolutely, Adrian. This is something they're going to take away from 2021. The disappointment for Morgan Balding of not qualifying that pair to go to Tokyo. With the disappointment for Matt Tarrant for not being selected in a boat for Tokyo. But they can go away from here, and they hope in 400 metres time, you know, have their Silver Goblets and Nickalls Challenge Cup in their hand. You get a little mini one, don't you, to take home. And that's a legacy for them to remember. And they're going to leave the year on a positive and not a negative.
It's a very special event, a bit like the Hamilton Cup, in that everybody else gets a little medal in a red box to take home, and it's really very special. But they actually get a goblet as well to take home with them. So in that respect, it's a really special event in terms of what you win from the regatta. And they're, you know, really well done for Tarrant and Balding for going back onto their station. And, you know, it's kind of showing respect, isn't it, that they're going to the line against the opposition. It's not about trying to embarrass them. It's about trying to, you know, it's their last row together possibly. They want to really show what they're capable of. I feel like they've done a great effort.
Great shot behind. Strong backs. Leaning off those handles. Great display of rowing there. And the Cambridge pair are young, 20 and 22. We're going to see a lot more of them to come for sure.
And good display of rowing there from Tarrant Balding, all the way to the line.
This Oxford Bucks pair really laid it all out here on the Thames today. And they're going to cross this finish line as the winners of the Silver Goblets and Nickalls Challenge Cup for 2021. As Oliver Parish and Callum Sullivan come across the line from Cambridge University. Great racing out here, and a great way for them to finish their Olympiad.
Morgan, Matt, congratulations. Winners in the Silver Goblets. Just talk me through the race.
Yeah, we just like keeping it simple, really. Coming into this regatta, we didn't have much race experience together. I think we did our spares race at the Olympics. Before then, a top secret speed order. So coming here, this is the most racing we've done together the last 3 days. So we had no idea what to expect, just use each race to try something new out. And today wasn't like in the headwind when we rocked up, but it's all about just trying to keep the length, keep it loose, keep it lively. And yeah, the rest of the race just took care of itself.
How much fun have you had racing here? You say you haven't had much experience rowing together, and then you're thrust into a Henley boat.
Pass the shirt on? Yeah. Yeah, I've actually really enjoyed like the last couple of weeks since coming back. I feel like the pair's been going really well, and it's just like a pleasure to row in. And another thing that we've enjoyed is coming back home with our club and like integrating with them again, because we've both been there, Matt before me, but you know, not so long ago we were there doing the same thing as them. And it's just lovely to go and, you know, train with them and see what it's like. And turned up today and, yeah, had a really great race and really happy to be here.
Congratulations, guys. Another win for Brooks as
Yes,
well. Well done.
Yeah.